Greetings, adventurers. It's Super Dungeon Explorer, and this week on SDE IRL, we're going to prove once and for all which spellcasting female is the best. We're going to do a quick review, and then we're going to go into a knockdown, drag-out bitch fight to end all, be all. Stay tuned. Unique abilities, and then 2 potions. And her original card, she had 3 unique offensive actions and 1 potion. So these are the new cards, just so you guys can look at them and go ooh and ah. And I'm just going to real quick go into what everyone is used to seeing, and we'll go over here. And so now we're going to compare these two spellcasting ladies, and then we're going to have a knockdown dragout inside the Super Dungeon Arena. So it will just be a 1v1 real quick. They're going to fight each other, and hopefully, we'll know which one is the best. All right. So real quick, looking at these two sorceresses, they have the same amount of action points and movement points, so there's nothing really spectacular there. There is no comparison between their strengths, melee 1 range, 2 blue. There is no comparison between armor, 3 blue, 3 blue. There is no comparison between dex, 1 blue, 1 red. And there is no comparison between health. They both have 5. So that only leaves will, potions, and abilities that make these two ladies vastly different. We'll start with the Ember Mage. And then the last thing that they have in common is that they both have a magic range of 8 by default. So, what makes one so much better than the other? Well, I don't think that either one of them is vastly superior to the other. I think they're both pretty good in their own right, and they just happen to be extremely good in different scenarios. While the Ember Mage gets a better rap for being a better overall character, I think the Hexcast Sorceress is extremely underrated in the fact that well, we'll get there. Alright. Cliffhanger, I know. She has 2 red will, which the average roll of 2 red will, I believe, is the same as the average of 2 blue and 1 red. While I think the average of 1 red is 1.2, and the average of a blue is 0.66. So 2 blue is 1.2 average, with a red is 1.2 average. So the average wise, they have the same will die rolls, but that's averages, and you get a lot of blank faces and hearts on blues, so it's not necessarily offensively the same thing. So offensively, the 2 red is a better attack, while the average is the same. You still run the risk of all those crappy faces on the 2 blue die for the Hexcast Sorceress. So looking at that comparison there, offensively, Ember Mage, that's just the way it's got to be. So then we'll look at the Ember Mage's ability here, and we'll notice that all of the Ember Mage's offensive rolls upon success will deal fire to her enemies, which the Hexcast Sorceress does not have, but each of her abilities does deal a different status effect, which could be better or worse. I think fire overall is, again, the better offensive status effect, because, like we're talking about offense here, and the Ember Mage seems to be mostly geared towards offense, with a better 2 red will and a fire, so everything that she succeeds on hitting will cause the enemy to catch on fire, which means, if you don't know, that they will take 1 damage at the start of their activation each turn until they die or somehow remove the fire. So that makes her better in that regard as well. While her status effect that she is able to inflict is offensive, while the Hexcast Sorceress primarily deals in debuffing or defensive status effects. Alright. The unique actions of the Ember Mage we'll notice here is the Fire Wave, which is a magic attack. So she will roll her will dice for that, and it's a wave 1. So 2 action points for a wave 1, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. I think it's a little, personally for me, for being a wave one, I think it's overpriced. I probably would go with a more, you know, I guess they don't want her doing it a whole bunch of times. So, I mean, I could see why it doesn't have one action point. But for being a wave one with the possibility of only dealing, one damage to everything in those 8 squares around the Ember Mage, because she's hardly ever going to be surrounded. She's not a melee. She doesn't usually run into battle, but she kind of has to for the Fire Wave. So I don't think the Fire Wave is her strongest suit. While it is an AoE attack, I don't think it should be her primary offensive go-to sort of thing. And I think the Magma Strike should honestly be listed first because it's probably what you're going to go with more often. And we'll look at that now. It's the 2 action points, Magma Strike, range 8, plus 3 blue will. So now you're looking at 2 red and 3 blue for a Magma Strike up to 8 squares away. So she can hang back behind all the tanks, behind everybody else, and just throw fire at something. And if that is successful, she will deal fire because it was, an offensive move. So she's just throwing fire at people. And now you're talking an average of about, that's about 4. That's about 4 damage, or 4 stars, to overcome. So that's a pretty good strike. I mean, that's like I think that would be her go-to. I think the Ember Mage is classified more along the lines of a blaster. So I think most people would pick the Ember Mage over this Hexcast Sorceress primarily for the ability to roll such a high blasting attack, even if you can only do it one time, because she only has 3 action points. Now, unless you give her something that boosts her action points, and she could do it twice, and that would make her even more OP. But again, this is strictly one-on-one, no gear. The Magma Strike is probably a more accurate attack roll, so I think that it would win offensively over the Hexcast Sorceress. Now we'll look at her 2 potions, and again, she is able to carry both of them at once, which is an excellent quality to have. And her first one is an emergency potion, which, for those of you who don't know, emergency potions can be used on the enemy's turn, and that will be an augment potion with wave 5, heal 1. So that in and of itself makes the White Mage potion aptly named because it just heals there. So it's on the console's turn as they're taking damage. They're like, no, never mind, we're all healed 1, and then we take our turn. So for any sort of console player, they think they're going to attack all these things, and the Ember Mage is going to just pretty much stand still and just drink a potion or give it to someone else, like who is more, in a better position, and they'll be able to heal 1 in wave 5 off of whichever character drinks it. So it's very good, it's very tactical, very strategic, and I like it. Fire Water is again an augment, so friendly units only. Plus 1 blue to strength, and it gives them the ability to deal fire. It is not an emergency potion, it is a support potion, so she has to use it on her turn. But if she activates first, then she could, theoretically, even if she doesn't activate, someone could drink it off of her card. It's the same thing. A hero will run in to do something like a sweep, like say the Hearthsworn fighter is going to cleave, and then he wants to real quick drink fire water, so he gets a plus 1 blue to his strength, so his cleave will be better, and then his cleave will deal fire. Anything that doesn't die will take damage next turn, and most minions, or some elites, would die after 2, so that could be extremely situational and very good as well. So overall, I think the Ember Mage, on paper, is the better choice for an adventuring party, a smaller adventuring party. I think if you had, the room, I would definitely go with some sort of tank and then an Ember Mage. And maybe, the Ember Mage is kind of a healer, so you might not want to pick her. And then I throw the Hexcast Sorceress in there. I think she'd be good for a larger party. She's not to be frowned upon. And now we'll move over to her card. Again, we already talked about her will being 2 blue, 1 red. And we're just going to jump straight into her unique actions down here. Her first one, let's notice real quick that all 3 of her abilities are offensive actions, so they will deal damage upon a success. And they all have magic range 8, and they all inflict a different status effect. Now, if you go up to the top of her card again and remember that she has 3 actions, we can really understand how great this could possibly be. If her will is high enough, she could ice, bane, and hex something all in one turn. The same thing, and deal 3 damage to it. So if you haven't thought about that, then you're missing out. That's half the health of most mini bosses, 6, you know what I mean? So 3 damage, and now the mini boss is, it can't use any unique actions. It discards its highest defense die rolled, and it discards its highest attack die rolled. So it can only do melee in a classic, and like obviously if it's arcade mode, you don't know if it's gonna be able to fight or not. But in classic mode, you can shut down just about anything, or you can even hit 3 different enemies with, say, ice, and shut down their ability to use unique actions. So then they're just standing around like a bunch of turds, and that's very strategic. I think if used properly in the correct situation, all 3 of these has the potential to be extremely overpowered. Because if you're on a 2-person or 3-person party, then the Hexcat Sorceress, you can pretty much make her activate every turn, and then you can keep a boss iced, or you can, depending on how high her will dice get off gear and things, but potentially you could ice something every turn or hex it every turn, and or you could do both, even like I said, because she has so many action points and everything is so cheap. So let's go over it real quick just to clarify. 1 action point for Frozen Feet, magic range 8, which again is absurd because she's so far away from combat and nothing's gonna catch her. And then ice prevents the model afflicted with ice, prevents them from using any unique actions. And then we have Hobbled Hands, which is a magic range 8, and Hex, which cause the model affected has to discard their highest result on an offense roll. Yeah, sorry, Hex offense. And so you have the ability to shut down perhaps a more melee-oriented enemy by doing that to them. And if they're, have less than 2 health, obviously they're going to die. It's going to kill them because it's offensive. And lastly, we'll get down here to Broken Bones, which inflicts Bane upon a success, and Bane is the opposite of Hex, and so they discard their highest roll on a defense roll. So if you notice an enemy with a particularly high defense roll, or if there's a couple of elites that are, like, if you see one particular enemy evading your allies' attacks, you can try to Bane them, and that would make them easier to kill for your more offensive people while you focus down something else with Frozen Feet or Hobbled Hands. Again, strategic, totally not the best character in the whole world, but we'll get down to the 1v1 here in a little bit, and then we'll go over her potion lastly. Wizard Wings affects only friendly models, obviously. Wasn't going to give your enemies +1 blue to will and fly. So it's really good on herself. She could go immediately to 3 blue, 1 red, and be able to fly with 6 move, 8 range. She can get pretty far away and just blast something, from the sky. I think that is very diverse, and she could also again give that to someone else on the team if there was another will-oriented person, or if it was just strategic and she wanted to give someone fly, just because even without the will bonus, they could get them out of harm's way or get them, closer to the combat if they need to be. And so again, it all just boils down on how you want to use her. And then real quick, we're going to splash back over to these to see the total difference here. We have Frozen Feet and Broken Bones both, and the Hexcat Sorceress gets 2 potions on her new card. So when she gets released again, she'll have 2 potions, 2 offensive attacks, and then her Hex ability has been brought down to a potion in Cursed Concoction with a support range of 6, and that becomes a will versus will roll. And if you think about how most models, majority of enemies, they have a lower will than she does, for certain, then you're almost guaranteeing success. And with a burst 1, that means if with 6 range, you can throw it over there, and hit everything in a 3x3, which is pretty spectacular. You have the chance of hitting more enemies with Hex, but you won't deal any damage. But it is best to give multiple enemies lower offense rolls than it is to always, deal 1 damage to everything in burst 1 or something like that. So definitely good. I think it's a bit of a buff, and I'm very proud of the Hexcast Sorceress moving up in the world and getting 2 potions. Good for her. So yeah, now we'll move right on. I'm just gonna do a real quick arena demo with Ember Mage and the Hexcast Sorceress against each other. Just gonna make them fight, and so we'll get right on to that. Here we go. I gave them a little bit of space to maneuver here, and I know I'm the one controlling them, and I'm gonna decide what they do. And just want you guys to know that I don't have any favoritism. I'm not gonna. I don't know if you've ever, played any sort of game versus yourself in like Magic or anything like that, where you test a deck or something, but you don't make decisions based on your personal favorite. You do what you think would each one would do optimally, and try not to put either one of them in any crazy situations. So I'm sorry if it's not the way you would play it, or if you think that I am being biased, but I promise you I literally do not care who wins this, and I'm just going to have it out. So, Hexcat Sorceress to move, and let me real quick give them each a potion. Alright. I'm slacking on my duties here. Okay. Hexcat Sorceress. 6 move. That's a structure. We'll go 1, 2, 3. I don't think there's no. She can't actually get line of sight. 4, or no, let's say 3. I guess if you think about it, they can't see each other, so they don't know where each other is. Which is why it's best to have a second person, but she doesn't feel well today. Get real. 2, 3. No, it's not going to happen. Okay, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay, so no line of sight. I do not believe. Yeah, good choice, Sorceress. Alright. And then we'll just go ahead. Sorceress is going to walk over here. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. We want to just try to have some space here. And we're going to roll on the Ember Mage here. Let's see. I would assume that she would want to Frozen Feet, because that would make the most sense to me first off. We'll do 2 blue and a red to disable her, and then the Mage is going to roll 3 blue. The Ember Mage is actually a lot better also with armor gear. And I mean, they both benefit a lot more from armor since they don't have very good armor. Also, just note that the one with the cluster with the red die is the Sorceress, and the cluster over here is her. Alright, so we got 3 to defend and 2 to attack. So here I am talking about crappy defense, and she's going to live through that. So we'll go ahead and Frozen Feet one more time. Hexcast Sorceress trying to shut down these offensive capabilities. A 2 and a 1. Alright, so statistically, the 1 red is doing nothing for us. And the last one, I honestly, if I was the Hexcast Sorceress, I would really want to shut down the Ember Mage's abilities, because she's not too good at strength. You know what I mean? Alright, finally we got something. We're going to do 2, and we're going to get a heart, but I play it like this. I'm just going to play it so the heart is on the ground, like Kingdom Hearts or something. And that's how, that's really how I play, so if she goes over there and picks it up later, it's more of a, it gives them more incentive to kind of dance around the battlefield instead of just being instantly healed and stuff. Alright, so now the Hexcast Sorceress has shut off her enemy's ability to use actions, unique actions. Alright, so if I'm the Ember Mage, what am I going to do? I would think that it would be time to perhaps use a Fire Water. So it makes sense for the Ember Mage to use Fire Water, or she could attempt to basic action Vigor off this ice using her armor. And that would leave her with 2, if she succeeds, then that would leave her with 2 action points to cast something. I do feel that the Ember Mage, Fire Water is good, but you don't want to use your only potion because you might have to heal. So you don't want to use it right now. So we're going to try to Vigor our way out of this. Not Vigor. Just figuratively speaking. Alright, and then 3 blue for armor to overcome if we roll more. Yep, more stars. Alright, here we go. Oh, we rolled equal stars. We're not over it. What are we going to do? Alright. Man, I really think, because the Hexcast Sorceress would catch on fire. Oh yeah, and she's down a wound. She took a wound. I'm out of my league here, guys. Alright. That gives her 2 attacks. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna Ember Mage potion to get +1 blue to strength and fire, which we already deal fire, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna run over here with my 3 blue strength versus her 3 blue armor, and I'm gonna 1, 2, 3. Alright, right in her face. It's going to be like a hair pulling kind of fight, the Ember Mage is not pulling any punches. Alright, so we'll kind of keep the Sorceress up in this corner, and then the Ember Mage down here, so you guys know whose dice are whose. Alright, this will be defense. Come on, armor. Alright, we got a 3. Oh, and the Hexcast Sorceress is keeping up in true fashion here with her crappy dice rolls. And she will take a damage, and we'll be on fire. Haha. Yeah, so this is the fight of ice and fire. Ba-da-da-da. Alright, and then we're going to do it one more time because we're on a roll here. We're rolling 3. We use the potion. Might as well do it. Catch this bitch on fire. Pull her weave out, girl. Alright, that was terrible. And 3 defense. Alright, no deal. So they're both on a roll for 1 out of 3. And since I already used it, I was like, I could have vigored again, but alright. The Hexcast Sorceress is going to go, and at the start of her turn, she will take a damage from fire. Alright. Now, if I'm the Sorceress, I really want to pick up that heart. And I also want to get rid of this fire. And then I can still cast 2 things. So what we'll do is we'll run over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't make them interact with them, but you can if you want to make them interact with them. I just feel that it's on the ground and you just run over it. And that's just the way I play. But alright. That's a hard habit to break, guys. Alright. And now she will also try to vigor. I would. I'm going to try to vigor away this fire. That leaves me with 2. Nope. Okay. I don't really think it's that big of a deal, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to... Alright. The Hexcast Sorceress is going to 2 blue, 1 red. That's enough vigor. We'll just take a damage. Hopefully we'll roll some hearts. Since she attacked us last turn and she is still iced, I would think we want to hex her. So we'll hobbled hands. Hobbled hands. Here we go. 1 versus 2. No hobbled hands. And hobbled hands again. And 3 and a heart versus 1. Alright, out pops a heart. Boop. Alright. Also, in case you're just new or something, just know that the rules state that you should remove a wound token from someone as soon as you roll a heart, but I like to make them pick them up, because that makes a little more sense to me. It just does. So that's my rule. And, yeah. So now she's going to be hobbled hands. We hexed her. So she'll lose her highest die roll on her offense rolls. The Ember Mage is racking up quite a bit of status effects here. Alright. But it's okay, though, because the Hexcast Sorceress is still on fire. So now I'm the Ember Mage. I'm going to turn around here, and I can't do anything. So I'm going to try to vigor my way out. Vigor, alright, of ice. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. I'm so sorry. Hopefully everyone understood that I meant that she was going to try to get her unique actions back. Alright. So now, we got the 3 defense of our Sorceress. And we're going to roll... I want a Magma Strike, because I'm pissed off. She hit me. She's already on fire. I can't double fire, but I do want to roll 2 will and 3. I want to roll 2 red and 3 blue to, hit, because I'm pissed off Ember Mage. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to put some distance in here. 8. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 7. That's a good distance. Alright. Defense, offense. That'll be the only thing she does because she already used Vigor. So she's just going to get 1 good Magma Strike in. And that'll be 1 successful Magma Strike if I've ever seen one. And we'll have her drop a potion. Boop. And then just for the sake of, you guys knowing how I play, I do keep doing that. Obviously, well, you're thinking, well, why couldn't she just pick up her own potion? Because you can't. Alright, that's because you can't. Because you keep track of it like a normal human being. You know who did what. You know where it came from. You're just smarter than that. And it'd be like playing against the enemies, and you wouldn't let a kobold pick up a potion. You know what I'm saying? So she dropped it, or it popped out of her, or whatever. So I know that. Anyway, I'm smarter than your average bear. Hey, boo boo. Alright, Hexcast Sorceress took a damage. She's not double fired, but that's okay. Alright, and here we go again. Hexcast Sorceress, you're up. You're going to take a damage. Boom, look at you. You're on fire. Alright. If I'm a Hexcast Sorceress, I'm going to walk over here. I pick this up because that's how I live my life. I don't like being on fire. I'm going to attempt to vigor my way out of fire. I rolled a 1. I am still on fire. I'm going to do it again because I'm sick of it. Alright, a 3. I'm now no longer on fire and I have 1 action left. Since she cured herself of ice, I'm going to attempt to put ice back on the Ember Mage. And so here we go. 3 blue to defend, a red and 2 blue. Yeah. Ice. Ice, baby. No, no ice. No ice, indeed. Alright, that was her turn. So, not a knockdown drag out so far. It's pretty even. I'm the Ember Mage's Hex, but she's still doing a good job. And I think if the Ember Mage keeps blasting her with Magma Strike, then it'll be pretty hard. So here we go. First of all, we're going to vigor our way out of Hex because I don't really want to just... I mean, I guess I could use a regular offensive attack, but I don't want to roll any more offensive attacks with this Hex on. So, alright, 3, 4, sorry. Hex is gone. Alright, now our Ember Mage is free to go about her day and Magma Strike. So here we go. 2 red and 3 blue versus the 3 blue. Alright. Sorceress up here, and here we go. Alright, you're going to stop anytime soon. We rolled a 3, a potion, and a heart versus 1. So we get a potion and a heart out of that. More potions, more hearts. And the mage really likes this because now on her next turn, if she chose to, I mean, right now she can still do it, but she could run pick up this potion, and then the heart will come out over here. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then 6. Yeah, perfect. So she gets a potion, and she heals a wound. Alright. That's good. She's feeling good about it. Now she can heal. And wave is including. Alright. So the Hexcast Sorceress takes another damage. Sad day. So she can't heal. See, this is where it is. So she can't heal. So she has no way to. The only way she can do anything is by making the mage drop hearts. Alright. I'm really tired of Magma Strike. Oh, and I'm on fire. Alright, start of the Sorceress' turn. Boom. She goes. No, she takes another one. She's at 4. She takes 1 more wound. She's dead. So here we go. We'll take the 2 blue and a red versus the mage 3 blue. First of all, we're going to try to vigor our way out of this. Vigor up here. No vigor. We'll stay on fire. We'll resign to our fate, probably. Alright, we're going to try to Frozen Feet again, knowing full well that the Ember Mage is at 1 health, or 4 health, and able to strength us to death. So it was a 1 offense and 2 defense, and then we'll go again. Hobbled hand. Sorry, Frozen Feet to ice the mage. Alright, hearts all around, and she's iced, and she takes a damage. Boom, boom. And then we rolled no heart or nothing. It was too bad we didn't get any of these 3. Huh? That would have been cool. Alright. Obviously, she was facing her the whole time because you don't cast spells the wrong way. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, and then I think that I could... I want to think that I could fly and see what we can do. Let's see if I can get behind a wall that maybe she couldn't get me. Let's see if I could... 1, 2... 3, 4, 5... no, because the mage could come that way. Let me try. Don't think there's anywhere I can really go to be safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5, 6. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the mage is going to walk over here and kill me. Alright, let's see. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the end of it. The Ember Mage is going to win, which would then make her the better character. And like I said, the Sorceress is a good character, just not on her own. which it should be noted that I said not on her own. Alright, Ember Mage to walk over and hopefully finish this off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, she's gonna get it. 6. Alright, face your doom. Let's go ahead and... I can't use Magma Strike. I can. I could try to just 2 red will her to death. I think that sounds kind of fun. So if the Hexcast Sorceress rolls really well, she'll still die because she's on fire. So it's actually kind of stupid. Alright, here we go. Blah! 3 and opposed versus 2. See you later. Alright. So we proved once and for all that the Ember Mage can beat the Hexcast Sorceress. I'm sure the Hexcast Sorceress can beat the Ember Mage. I'm not saying she can't. But in this particular demonstration, the knockdown drag out end all be all here, we have proven that the Ember Mage is substantially better. And all in all, I would definitely choose her. Maybe not in a solo party, but as a superior addition to a regular party over the Hexcast Sorceress. So I hope you all enjoyed my small character review arena demo. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video and every other video I've ever posted. Check out my social media, make me feel good. And yeah, don't forget to join the party and get the loot. And I will see you next time.